Hey Awesome Doodle fans, we are here at the Awesome Doodle Urban Ranch in Louisville, Kentucky, and this is Sydney. He owns LA Surf and Swim out in Los Angeles, California, and Sydney wanted to stop by the Awesome Doodle Ranch really just to meet this litter of puppies and to meet some of our mama dogs and just really get an idea of what Awesome Doodle is all about. So Sydney, tell us a little bit about the dog that you have now.
So I have a AwesomeDoodle dog now that's a standard size, beautiful, big, loving boy, about 68, 70 pounds. He's 2 years old, and while he's still young, I want to get him a playmate that can grow together and get some energy out. And was thinking this round is going with a smaller version of the AwesomeDoodle, keeping it consistent because I know what the temperaments are now and the pros of the AwesomeDoodle, but just thinking that I want to go with more of a 30-pounder instead of two 70-pounders. So that's what I noticed you guys had more the medium size and smaller and even petite, so that was interesting to me. Okay.
So you'll have one 68-pound AwesomeDoodle, and then your next one will be, in the 30-pound range.
Yeah.
So Sydney, you've been on our list for a few months already, and it's probably going to be a few more months before we can even get you your dream puppy. There's other places where you can get an AwesomeDoodle. Why are you waiting so long to get one from us?
The reason I'm picking AwesomeDoodles and why I chose you guys for a couple of reasons. Number one, I could tell that you raise them inside in a house with a yard and with a pool. And I teach my dogs to surf and swim, and knowing they're already going to have exposure to that was very, very appealing to me. And another thing that I find that's unusual and it doesn't work for me is there'll be breeders that will say, you can't come to our site, we don't trust, you may bring something in off your shoes, or we don't want any outside exposure. And it just makes me very skeptical because I really can't tell if it's a mill and everybody's outside in a pen, you know. And knowing that you guys they're in your kitchen, they're in your dining room, in your living room, that's where my dog's not going to be at a barn, he's going to be living in a house. And that's what I loved. And I loved also that you guys had so many videos to be able to study the temperament of the female dogs and the male stud dog, so you can get an inkling of, just how they run, how they fetch, how they interact with you. And other people, it just seems like it's more about, pictures and we'll ship them to you, don't come bothering us until we get ready to ship.
Well, that's great to hear, because we try really hard to let our puppy families know that they're welcome to come visit anytime they want. There is a little bit of concern with bringing in germs or certain viruses into the environment, but if your dogs are up to date on their shots and deworming and stuff, the chances of that are very, very slim. So we're okay with it, and we're glad that you're here. Sid, when you first contacted us on email, I noticed something about you right away that I don't notice with most of our puppy families, and what that was is that you asked a lot of questions, very, very detailed questions, and when I gave you the answer to those questions, in some cases I could tell that you were skeptical of my answer, like maybe you didn't believe me, or like how could you raise puppies in a house, things like that.
Yeah, and what I really liked and what really separated you from other breeders too is that you guys said, hey, we're picky about where these dogs go. We're not just trying to sell dogs and get them out of here and we ka-ching, ka-ching. If it's not going to a really great environment, we're not getting rid of the dog just to get rid of the dog, And so I liked that, the questions of, it wasn't just, hey, if you can afford it, you're on the list. If you can afford it, you get a dog from us. That really was, no, you got to qualify, you have to instinctually think that the person getting the dog is an upstanding, dog owner, going to be and going to do all the right things. And so that really was unlike any other breeders that I had dealt with, and it made me, even more attracted to you guys and what you're doing.
Because for us, it's kind of a two-way interview, right? Like, we want you to be comfortable with us, and we want to be comfortable with you as well. We get pretty attached to these puppies when we're raising them in the house. If they were out in the barn, you really don't get too attached to them, but when they're living in your kitchen like these puppies are, by the time they're 8 weeks old, they pretty much know their names, they're getting close to being potty trained, and we get pretty attached to them. So we want to make sure they're going to great homes. And our theory at AwesomeDoodle is that dogs are part of the family. And just like your kid wants to have fun, these dogs want to have fun too. And so give us an idea of a day in the life of the dog that you have now. What kind of things does your dog get to do?
Well, every day my dog gets to go on a bike ride that runs beside the bike. He loves to pull the bike. We go down by the boardwalk.
So you ride your bike?
I ride the bike and he's running, and I have a little attachment off the side. Some people hold a leash, and that's okay, but it's a bit dangerous because they can go in front of you. So I have a special attachment that comes off the seat bar, and it's a little bit of a bungee, it has a little give to it. Okay. And so he can move forward without ever getting in front of the wheel. And he absolutely loves it and sprints, and it's funny, we go around this one corner every day and there's this mural of two dogs painted on there. And he barks at those two dogs every time we pass because he thinks, okay, one of these days they're going to respond back. So it's hilarious. I got to get a video of him coming. He's like, hey, here I go, man. Yeah. Bark, bark. But we take him down. And he also loves to pull me on a skateboard or a razor scooter. Every night we go out for either a pint of beer together or a dinner at a patio. I only go to restaurants. I'm a bachelor. I eat out almost 6 nights a week. So if they don't have a dog allowed on the patio, then I don't need to go to that restaurant. So if I'm going somewhere, he wants to go somewhere. We go to the beach. Every Monday is it's my official day off, and we go to this beach that allows dogs, and there's surfing waves. And before I get in the water, it's about an hour, 20-minute drive every Monday. I make sure he's played and had fun and exercised before I go play and have fun and have exercise, because I don't want to feel the guilt of him not having his energy out and I'm out there catching waves. So first he has to be taken care of, and then it's my turn to play, and then he gets to play again. So he's he's got a great great lifestyle of like I said, getting out when I in the evening, if it's 8 o'clock and I haven't put my shoes on, he's coming to me like, hey, it's time for us to go out and have some great fun. It
sounds like he gets a ton of exercise.
He gets a ton of exercise. He and I've often, I taught him to surf, and I taught him to ride the motorcycle as well with me. And I always say a tired dog is a really good dog.
That's true.
And I feel like too often times people think their dog has a behavior problem, but they don't get enough exercise for their dog.
You're absolutely right about that. They say, oh, I took my dog for a walk today.
Right, and he came home and he chewed something up. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's walking to me is not exercise. That's a bathroom break. Exercise is fetching or running on the bicycle, and they need it. And I'm gonna, with the dog I'm gonna get with you guys, I'm gonna have one on one side, one on the other side, or one in front of the other, one behind the other. Yeah. And we're gonna go. And that's part of why I like your sizes, because I want to be able to get 2 dogs under the table when I go out for dinner, and 2 70-pounders could be pretty hard, but I'm looking forward to the middle sizes, which is perfect.
Well, it means a lot to us that you came all the way here. I know you didn't come all the way to Louisville, Kentucky from LA just to come here, but Sydney was in Nashville, Tennessee, so he rented a car, drove 3.5 hours here and 3.5 hours back, and that says a lot about your research and proofing our concept here at AwesomeDoodle. So
absolutely, I wanted to meet you. Look great on video, but I wanted to make sure you stood up in real life, and Aaron did as well. And your place is just like advertised.
Great.
And one of the things that I want to do, if it's okay with you guys, but when the litter comes that I'm going with. I'd like to send something, maybe a sarong or a little t-shirt that's got my scent on it and my current dog's scent, So if every once in a while you could let them smell it, then they'll start getting to know us even before he comes into our home.
That's a great idea. And we'll do the same. See these blankets right here? These puppies here are about to go home next week. So we use these little towels and we put them in their puppy beds and they get all smelly. So when the puppies go home, they have something that smells like them.
And they know what, I love that. Love it going both ways.
We've also been experimenting with the idea of voice recognition. What we found out is that when these puppies go home, their owners will watch my videos on YouTube, and when these dogs hear my voice on YouTube, they go bananas. Because they've been hearing my voice for 8 weeks, right?
Right.
So we've been experimenting, and Oscar is the one that we're experimenting with. So Oscar's parents, Oscar's family has sent us a voice recording of them saying, "Hey Oscar, hey Guy, how you doing, little boy?" And we are playing that for Oscar every couple of days so he gets used to that voice.
That's
so
awesome.
It's just something that we're experimenting with, and we might be able to do that with you as well.
That's incredible, and that's what again sets you apart from a puppy mill. That's another reason that sets you apart, that you're open to experimenting and trying to increase the bonding experience with puppy and dog. Because to me and I think for you, I mean this is as important as a marriage that you would have to your partner, because you're with each other for life, and the better start that you can get by being comfortable and familiar with each other, I think the better your overall long term is going to be. So I love that they're going to have some familiarity with what it was like here. Yeah. And in this case, some voice familiarity too.
Let's do it.
Makes total sense. I'm excited.
Well, again, Sid, I'm so glad that you came. I'm so glad that you got to see we call it the AwesomeDoodle Urban Ranch. Because we're regular people just like you. Yeah. And we're glad that you came, and we're so excited that this dog is going to have such a fabulous life out in LA. And at some point, I'm going to have to fly out there and visit.
Yeah, going to get you out there, get you on the surfboard with us.
Thanks a lot, Sid.
All right, thank you.